Hi and welcome. My name is Abdel. I'm going to talk about IPv6, which is designed to overcome the limitation of IPv4 addressing that are almost exhausted. So, IPv6 is 128 bits instead of 32 bits, providing 3.4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 28, giving 3.4 indecillion IP addresses. And actually there are three types of IPv6 addressing: global scope, which starts with 2000:/3, meaning that the first 3 bits are 001, link local, which starts with FE80:/10, and they're like IPPA in IPv4 world, and the last one, which is unique local IP addressing, which are deprecated, and they are like private IP addressing that we use in our private LAN and our private companies, and they start with FC00/7. IPv6 has three types of messages: unicast, which is one-to-one, multicast, one-to-many, and an anycast, which is one to the nearest. And by the way, this is new message in IPv6 world. And you may notice that there is no broadcast in IPv6. I'm going to use DNS3 and configure IPv6 on the interfaces, and configure also RIP next generation. So let's begin. I'm on router 1 right now. So enter global configuration command, and the first step to do is to enable IPv6 routing globally by issuing the command IPv6 unicast routing. Next step is to go under interface and issue the command IPv6 address and type the IP address that you want to configure on the interface. In my case, I'm going to use 2001:1:AA:1 on fast Ethernet 00, followed by a slash notation of 64-bit and no shutdown command. And to verify, do show IPv6, do show IP, do show interface, do show IPv6 interface brief. And as you can see here, we have the global scope configured and link local, which are automatically generated. I'm going to go to next step is I want to enable a routing protocol. I'm going to use RIPng as I mentioned before. So to do that, issue the command IPv6 RIP and give it a name. Let's say RIP and enable. We are turning on RIP on that interface right now. You can also go to IPv6 router command and type the process number which I used here, RIP. You can turn off auto summarization. Actually, the summary is turned off by default. Let's issue do show IPv6 protocols, and as you see here, IPv6 router RIP routing protocol is IPv6 routing protocol is connected, and there is static, and there is the process number, which is a RIP in this case. I'm going to go to fast Ethernet 0/1 and configure the IPv6 address. which is 2001 colon 22 AA colon 1/64, and issue no shutdown command, and to verify IPv6 interface brief. So both interfaces are up, and our global scope IP addressing are configured on both sides on the router 1. I need just to enable RIP by issuing the command IPv6 RIP followed by the process number, which is RIP, and enable command. At this point we are good to go on router 1, and we are enabling RIP. IPv6 protocols, yes. We are enabling RIP on Fast Ethernet 01 and Fast Ethernet 00. Now let's go to router 2 and enter global configuration command. Under the interface Fast Ethernet 00, and give it an IP address, which is 2001 colon 11 AA colon 2 and /24/64. Sorry. Hit enter and now shut down. We want to enable RIP also on this interface by issuing the command IPv6 RIP and name it RIP and enable. Did you see here? I didn't configure the router to provide routing capabilities in IPv6, so when I enter RIP, the router says IPv6 router not enabled, so we need to enable it first. IPv6 and unicast routing, and they issue the command that let's do is an under interface Fast Ethernet 00 and the RIP enable. Let's go to interface Fast Ethernet 0/1 and give it an IPv6 address. And /64 slider rotation, and the issue now shut down to bring the interface up. Let's enable RIP right now. Sure enough, we are learning some routes through RIP protocol. There is nothing, there is no major change in RIP NG, by the way, because it uses the same administrative distance and it uses the hop count as a metric. So that's all to IPv6 configuration, verification, and running routing protocol RIP in this scenario. So I hope that this have been informative for you, and thank you for watching.